Now, as Jim mentioned, the wintry weather definitely sticking around, making this time extremely cold and difficult for the homeless community. Our Mayor Morgan spoke to the only shelter in Pitt County, Community Crossroads, about this time of year and what they're doing to ensure those in need are taken care of. She's joining us now live in studio with more details. Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jason. Since 1987, Community Crossroads has been serving the Pitt County community. With extreme weather conditions both in the winter and in the summer, Executive Director Charles Young says they do see an increase in people this time of year. That's why they're staying committed to helping those in need by watching the weather forecast constantly and are adjusting accordingly.
The winter weather is here, and one thing is for sure.
It's very cold.
That's why organizations serving ENC are getting ready.
We see a few more extra people come this time of year, but it really just depends on what their situation is. We don't really get a huge increase with the cold weather. As the same thing as when it gets real hot.
During extreme weather conditions, Community Crossroads Executive Director Charles Young says,
we watch the weather quite a bit. When the weather falls below 32 degrees wind chill factor, we open the shelter. Some days we're open all day, some days we're open part of the day.
Employee Constance Harris, who preferred not to show her face, sees the importance of the shelter being the only one in Pitt County.
And we're a private nonprofit shelter, so it's very limited in what we can do because there's nowhere for people to go other than finding shelter in places and buildings that they shouldn't.
Especially as they serve those with challenging circumstances this time of year.
The great thing about it is we have what's called respite, which allows people that have medical issues to be able to stay in, and then we also offer days where they can stay in a little longer.
Harris encourages those in need to consider getting help.
If you find yourself in a position in need to be here, I always tell people when they check in, give yourself 3 days. The first day to kind of wrap your bearings around that, hey, I'm homeless, I'm displaced. And then the second day to kind of observe how things are. And then by the third day, you have a better idea of if you can sustain being here.
Both during the winter and beyond.
It allows them to be able to have somewhere as a safe haven other than being on the streets.
And thankfully, Young says that the shelter is in tip-top shape. When it comes to supplies, the community donated a large amount of various items needed during the Shelter's Giving Tuesday fundraiser towards the end of 2024. Now, if you yourself or someone that you know is in need of assistance in getting out of this cold weather, more information can be found on our website, WITN.com. Jason?
All right, thanks, Merritt. Young also told WITN that the addition of more family rooms in their new building being built next to the current shelter is still on track to open and serve more community members in Pitt County by early summer of this year.